Hello and welcome, my dear friend. You know what's strange? We were taught to believe heaven only notices the grand gestures, the loud declarations, the public sacrifices, the unwavering faith that never shakes. But I want to tell you something real, something most people never say. Heaven notices the quiet things, the small yeses, the sacred choices no one sees. Like when you stayed quiet, not out of fear, but because you knew explaining yourself wouldn't change anything. Or when you went home early, not to avoid people, but because your energy felt sacred that night and you didn't want to spend it on small talk. When you forgave, not because they deserved it, but because your soul deserved the freedom. And do you know what happened then? Heaven stood up, not with trumpets and lightning bolts, but with something higher, a sacred standing ovation, for a move only angels saw, because it wasn't loud, it was true. You see, there's a kind of clarity that only comes from being misunderstood, and a kind of strength that's earned, not shown. And while the world might have overlooked it, heaven didn't. Let's break this open a little more. Most people are chasing a feeling, but they don't know it. They think they're chasing the job, the relationship, the recognition. But what they're really chasing, that deep, undeniable sense of rightness, of alignment, of this is where I'm supposed to be. But here's where it gets wild. That feeling doesn't come from finally being seen. It comes from seeing yourself. And you've been doing that more and more lately, haven't you? Even in moments where you're not sure what the next step is, you're not reaching for old patterns anymore. You're moving differently now, not because someone told you to, but because you've learned to trust your own divine rhythm. And yes, it may look small on the outside. Maybe you didn't quit your job or start a new business. Maybe you didn't cut ties with everyone or move across the world. But inside, you made a shift, a powerful one. You stopped asking others for permission to feel what you feel. You stopped looking for confirmation to trust your gut. You started choosing peace, even when your ego wanted noise. And let me tell you something. Angels notice that kind of courage. They don't gather just for fireworks. They gather when truth moves through someone's soul and lands softly in their body, when someone stops performing for love and starts embodying it. Let's be real for a moment. You've probably seen people who look successful. They post the photos, they hit the milestones, they seem fulfilled. But inside, many of them are chasing something that doesn't belong to them. They're chasing someone else's joy. Because that's what the world told them success looks like. But here's the thing, your joy? It was never meant to be earned through applause. It was meant to be felt through alignment. That moment you lit a candle just to breathe. That quiet morning you said no to chaos. That night you didn't reach out to prove your worth again. Those are holy moments. And every time you made those choices, heaven nodded. The angels didn't just clap. They stood up. Not because you did something flashy, but because you did something real. And this part is important, so hear me. You're not here to compete with what the world claps for. You're here to become what the heavens already know you are. And while others might chase what sparkles, you're following what glows. You're not chasing stages, you're walking altars, and that changes everything. Because now, you're no longer trying to become worthy. You're remembering you always were. Let me pause you right here. If it feels like your life still hasn't arrived, if it feels like your efforts haven't caught up to your vision yet, that's okay. Because even before the fruit shows, the roots are speaking. Your life is moving quietly, steadily, not to impress, but to become. And the realm of spirit, it sees it all. That one move you made in silence, the angels watched, and they didn't just take note, they celebrated. Because something in heaven shifted the moment you did. So why does this matter now? Because for too long, people told you nothing was happening unless it was visible, unless it could be posted, measured, compared, but that was never your path. And honestly, that was never heaven's standard. Heaven doesn't operate by trends. It moves by truth. And right now, it's building something through you, so deeply that even you can barely grasp it yet. But the angels do. They've seen the rewiring. They've seen the unlearning. They've seen the moment you sat in your car alone and chose not to spiral. The moment you looked in the mirror and decided to believe a little more in who you are, without needing anyone else to say it first. And that made them stand. Because this isn't just transformation. This is alignment with your divine self. You see, in the spiritual realm, the loudest sound is the soul returning home. It doesn't shake the room. It doesn't echo on microphones, but it moves the heavens. It's like a code being reactivated in your DNA, one that was there all along. And here's the beautiful, rarely said truth. The most divine moments often look boring on the outside. It's not lightning strikes. It's choosing what your spirit whispers, even when your mind is shouting. It's not fire from the sky. It's walking away from what you know isn't love, without fanfare, without revenge. It's that tiny, quiet decision to be loyal to your soul, even when no one's watching. Those are the moments the angels applaud, not because of how it looks, but because of what it shifts. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed how lately you're not as reactive? You're not begging God for proof anymore. You're not explaining your evolution to people who only knew your past. That's not small. That's a sign you're becoming. The divine realm has been watching this subtle becoming, your choice to move with more grace, to walk away from chaos, to trust that the unseen is still real. And that last move you made, that decision no one understood, that step you took even while scared, that was the moment. That's when something shifted. That's when heaven rose up and said, look at this one. They chose truth over comfort, again. Now let's ground this in your life. If your surroundings still look the same, if your external world hasn't caught up yet, don't mistake that for nothing happening. This is the part where it's not supposed to make sense to everyone, because what's happening is spiritual, and spirit moves ahead of matter. Your steps right now are leaving imprints in places you can't see. You are being recorded in the realm of truth, and soon what was done in silence will become undeniable in the physical, but not because you forced it, because you trusted it. You trusted that peace was enough. You trusted that being faithful to who you are, even in confusion, was powerful. You trusted that something in you was guiding you even when no one could see the path. And that trust, it created a wave. So if you've been wondering why you suddenly feel lighter, why things that once triggered you just don't, why you can sit in stillness and not panic anymore, that's the result of your last unseen move. And the angels felt it. They didn't need a spotlight. They didn't need a post. They felt the purity of it, the sincerity, the sacredness. And their response? A standing ovation. Because you didn't wait for confirmation. You became it. Now here's what happens next. Your next season isn't built by doing more. It's built by trusting deeper. Let this message serve as your confirmation. Heaven is proud of you. And if you've ever questioned whether the unseen things you've done matter, if you've ever wondered whether your internal growth has been noticed by the divine, let this be your answer. It has. It is. You're not trying to prove your worth anymore. You're walking in it. And every step you take in truth, heaven walks with you. So don't stop now. Keep your head high. Let God lead. Even if the road is quiet, even if no one claps, walk anyway. Because where you're headed next, it's not just better, it's what your spirit's been waiting for. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If you found value in this message, please like the video and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe and continue your amazing journey by watching one of the videos showing on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.